I never expected a stupid game to end my marriage. Not a fight, not an affair, not the usual kinds of betrayal. A challenge did it. It was a rainy Thursday when I first saw the phrase, a 30-day marriage challenge. I was on Clara's phone only because she'd asked me to pull up an invoice while she showered. Scrolling through her email, I stumbled on a group chat instead. Day 12, girls, detach emotionally. No intimacy, no reassurance. Make him chase you. My thumb paused. I scrolled further. 2 weeks of messages spilled out. Daily tasks, strict rules, screenshots of conversations with husbands and boyfriends. Ignore his texts for a day. Refuse affection but act warm in public. Pick petty fights to test him. Each post ended with hearts, clapping emojis, or a boast like, works every time, he booked me a spa day. On day 14, act distant. If he asks, tell him, I need to feel desired. Let him do the chasing. Rain tapped the window like a metronome while a cold weight settled in my chest. Was our marriage reduced to a social media experiment? I didn't confront her right away. I watched. Clara started turning down my goodnight kisses, telling me she was tired. She stopped asking about my day. At dinner her phone stole the space that used to be mine. Then, on a Saturday morning, she made the first move in the script. You've been distant lately, she said from the couch in her robe, scrolling. I just want to feel wanted. It matched the chat line for line. My coffee went bitter in my mouth. Was that her speaking or the challenge? I tried to fix things. Dinner's out, sticky notes left in odd places, the chores she always nagged about done without comment. The harder I pushed, the colder she grew. Week 3 was the breaking point. I came home early with flowers, planning a surprise. Her car was in the driveway, but the living room was dark. I heard voices upstairs, her voice and a man's. Something in me wanted to storm up the stairs, but I paused and hit record on my phone, hands trembling. They weren't having sex. They were whispering and laughing. So when will he notice? The man asked. You've been freezing him out for weeks. That's the point, Daniel, she said. See how much effort he'll make. But honestly, I feel more alive with you than I have in months. My knees went weak. The flowers dropped from my hand. That night I didn't confront her. I lay beside her and pretended to sleep while she texted Daniel until after midnight. My chest felt hollowed out. This wasn't a cheating moment born of passion. It was calculated manipulation. The next morning I started my own experiment, not to win her back or to make her jealous, but to record everything. Screenshots, messages, the audio clip. I documented the whole thing. I pulled half our savings out, my share, and opened a separate account. I rang a lawyer just to learn my options. Then I pretended nothing had changed. I put on the husband act. Planned a weekend away. Cooked the meals she loved. Left little compliments around the house. Told her she looked beautiful even when she barely met my eyes. I wanted to watch the moment she realized her little experiment had real costs. 3 weeks later I ended the pretense. I walked in carrying divorce papers, steady as if I'd rehearsed the scene. Clara, we need to talk, I said. She glanced up from her phone, surprised. What about? Her voice was casual for a second, then uncertain. I set a stack of printed messages down on the coffee table. The screenshots were impossible to misread. Day 12, cut emotional ties. Day 14, make him pursue you. Day 21, invite attention from someone else. She opened her mouth but no sound came out. You even added your own line, she whispered, hands shaking. Daniel, it's not what you think. Then tell me what you want me to think, Clara, I said. That this was harmless. That tearing me down day by day was some kind of test of love. Tears pooled in her eyes. She stumbled through an explanation about wanting to see if I still cared, about convincing herself she wasn't the problem. She said it began as a dumb challenge, that she'd been trying to feel something again. She admitted finding comfort in another man's presence. There was no shouting. Just the clinical end of what had been warm. I told her I was filing. I told her I had proof of her emotional betrayal. I told her I wouldn't play dirty, but I would defend what was mine. She begged. She promised it hadn't gone any further. It was only emotional, she said. But the harm was done. In the weeks that followed, the group chat unraveled after a few women were exposed. Apparently, I wasn't the only spouse who discovered the scheme. Clara moved in with her sister. Daniel disappeared the moment things got real. Months later, I ran into her in a grocery store. She looked diminished, tired. Her hands shook as she reached for the milk. She tried to smile. It didn't reach her eyes. "You ruined everything, didn't you?" she murmured in the cereal aisle. I didn't answer. I looked at her, really looked, and for the first time I felt no anger, only a hollow quiet and a small, strange relief. I had survived the experiment. She hadn't. Now, when I think back, I don't know if she ever loved me or if I was merely part of a need for control and validation. Maybe both. What I do know is this: real love doesn't require cruelty as proof. It doesn't ask for tests that humiliate or manipulate. It grows from respect, trust, and simple kindness. Once those things become a game, the relationship has already lost. Her challenge didn't make me chase. It made me leave. And in the silence that followed, I finally felt something I hadn't in months.